If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome to race day for the FINA World Championships in Barcelona, sponsored by Speedo. I am Tiffany Elias, and I'll soon be joined by Swimming World correspondent Jeff Cummings, who is on deck in Spain, bringing us live coverage. Day 2 of the 9-day event has come to a close, and what a great meet it's been so far. Given the prelim, semifinal, and final format, we're finally starting to see more finals heats for the individual events. Let's bring in Jeff to recap what's going on from Barcelona. Jeff, how's it going?
It's going great, Tiffany. I can't complain when I get to witness a world record in front of me. It's just one of those things that's just absolutely electric. The crowd was loving it, and then just other great swims, a lot of semifinals and finals that just had the crowd on its feet.
Well, a world record in the semifinals is exciting in and of itself. So let's go through and talk about all the events. Let's start briefly with day number 1. It was the 400 freestyle on the men's and women's side and the 4x100 freestyle relays. Sun Yang of China was the clear favorite on the men's side, won by over 3 seconds, almost in world record pace. Katie Ledecky on the ladies' side adds another world title to her name, and just misses the record by half second. The only sub 4-minute swim we saw. Jeff, which swim was more impressive, Sun Yang or Katie Ledecky?
Nobody's asked me that. I would say it'd have to be Katie's. Just to be able to see a sub 4 minute in a textile suit is quite amazing. And obviously she's only 16 years old, and that's amazing in and of itself that she's going under 4 minutes this early in her career. But to be able to chase Federica Pellegrini's world record, which was astounding in itself, even in a rubber suit, says a lot about her. All we've been talking about is the 800 and the 1500 with Katie, because that's where we got our global introduction to her. And so for her to really go all out in that 400 and go under 4 minutes, everybody's now talking about what's going to happen, especially tomorrow in the 1500 final and then later in the week in the 800.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be one to watch. Now, briefly touching on the relays, read your article about the French fans being out of commission during prelims this morning after celebrating night number 1's victory. Were they back in action in finals tonight?
Oh yeah, they were back. They were celebrating with the Fred Bousquet getting the bronze medal in the 50 butterfly, and they just love their French swimmers. And it's really great to see that. It's not to say that the United States doesn't love its swimmers, but for a country to bring such a lot of people over to watch the event, and I know France is just right across the border, but to come over and watch their best swimmers race says a lot about the support that the French have behind them.
All right, well, let's move on to night number 2, starting off with the finals heats for the men's 100 breaststroke. Australia's Christian Sprenger edged out Olympic champ Cameron Vanderberg 58-79, and USA superstar Kevin Cordes came in 7th with a double O. Jeff, talk to us about what's going with all the breaststroke drama.
Well, I don't know if there's drama actually at this meet. I was really watching the start closely, and I'm about 50 feet from the pool, so it would be hard for me to say if anybody was doing more than one dolphin kick at the start. But we're just less than a week after FINA ruled that there is not going to be unlimited dolphin kicks allowed at the start. So obviously, I'm sure a lot of people were watching those starts closely, and I'm really kind of surprised that Cameron Vanderberg got a silver medal. I guess his knee injury that he had late June was pretty much a non-issue. I doubt that he thought it was going to be an issue, but of course we at the media, not knowing a lot of things, we kind of played it up as he's not going to be able to back up his Olympic gold medal, and he had a valiant effort with Christian Sprenger just doing well. He's been number 1 in the world all year, and he just kind of lived up to all the expectations that were placed on him.
And your thoughts on Kevin Cordes' double O?
Well, Kevin and Nick Fink as well, they've been untested in the international scene, and they really got some great experience this year. Kevin did go to Short Course Worlds last December, but to be here where the entire world is racing, I think probably they got a little bit outside of themselves and were racing other people's races. And I hope Kevin can collect himself and be ready for that 200 breast, because I think he's really going to be in medal contention for that. The 100, I think, was kind of a bonus. I wasn't really expecting him to win a medal. And if he did, it was going to be just because the world just wasn't really swimming that fast this year, and he kind of was able to take advantage of that. So they got some great experience. It was a fine swim. I think they were. I think the Americans should be happy they got in the final and got to race.
Right. All right. Well, up next was the final heat for the ladies' 100 fly. After not seeing the type of Dana Vollmer we know and love in prelims and semifinals, it's not too shocking that she finished third behind Sarah Joy Strum and Alicia Coots. Jeff, this event should have been a definite win for the U.S. Is there any update on Dana's physical condition? I know there was talk of maybe some illness, nerves, along those lines.
Well, she had been battling a sinus infection for the past couple of weeks, and I think she's over. I think the infection is gone, but her body's still recovering from it. And I've had a few of those very recently, and I know that even when the infection's gone, the antibiotics are still kicking in. They're still taking over your body. So it can be very tough to be at your top level when your body's trying to do something other than what you want it to do. So it was a very valiant effort for Dana to get the bronze, and I think Sarah Sostrom is over the moon, and she should be, because she's been really working to get to the top of the medal stand since she won the World Championship in 2009. So this is redemption for all those people who I know have been calling her just a suit swimmer. She was able to pull it out today, and congratulations to her.
Yeah, some tough racing in that final seat. All right, well, two semifinals came next in the men's 100 backstroke and the women's 100 breast. Matt Grievers leads the men going into finals tomorrow with the sub-53 swim, and Ruta Malataidi, favorite on the women's side, breaks the world record in the semifinals. Also to note, Jessica Hardy with a very impressive swim. Jeff, your thoughts on seeing a world record go down in the semifinals, and also how close of a matchup could we see with Jessica Hardy and Ruta tomorrow?
Well, it's not going to be a race between Ruta and any human being. It's just going to be Ruta, and to see maybe if she could go a little bit closer to that 104 barrier. It looked like she was going at top speed tonight, so it's not like, she backed off the last 5 meters or anything. So, she kind of races that way. She's always pretty consistent through the round. She did that at the Olympics. Her spread in the Olympics was about 4:10. So if she goes any faster, it's probably going to be about 104.1 or so. So we'll see how she does. The race for silver is going to be interesting. If Jessica Hardy can get back to that 105 low range, she's going to be in a race with Yulia Efimova and Rika Moller-Peterson, which is the way we kind of thought it was shaking up all for the past month now. So Jessica's going to be fighting for a minor medal, and the rest, everybody else is just going to have to swim their own race and not worry about seeing Ruta Malataidi way out front.
Right. All right, well, up next was the men's 50 final. And these 50 strokes, they're always up in the air a little bit, but Brazil's Cesar Cielo with the win, and Eugene Godsu, USA, getting in second. Jeff, Cesar wasn't the favorite here, correct?
Well, nobody's really the favorite in a 50. There's so little leeway in these times. I think first through eighth in the semis was separated by about 7/10, and so just anybody could win. And that's what Eugene did. He was way out in lane 8. He barely got in the final, and he put together a perfect 50 meters of butterfly. And somebody pointed this out to me earlier. I think it was actually Anthony Urban's agent, is that Eugene was really the only butterflyer in that field. Everybody else is 50 freestyler. So he's the only one in that race, or Stefan Deibler actually is a butterflyer as well. But everybody else in that race comes from the 50 freestyle. And so Eugene really knew how to swim butterfly well, knew how to sprint it well. He put together a really good 50. I think this makes a case for the United States to really step up the 50s. The United States can win medals in those 50s too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, moving on to two more semifinals heats. It was the women's 100 backstroke and the men's 200 freestyle. For Team USA, Missy Franklin and Elizabeth Pelton hold the first and third position heading into finals tomorrow. And on the men's side, Ryan Lochte and Quanah Dwyer both got into the final 8. Jeff, what's it going to take for Lochte to win the 200 free tomorrow?
Well, he's going to have to go out faster than he did today. He can't toy with the field. He's got to swim his own race, which he did at USA Trials. He went out aggressive. The field caught him almost, but that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to go out aggressive. He can't expect everybody to flip at 51 mid and then he can kind of just take off, because everybody's going to try to take it out and be the rabbit and try to hold on. So if Ryan, I think there's a 145 in Ryan, but he's got to be more aggressive. He's got to be out 50.9.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one to watch. Well, the last event of the night was the women's 200 IM final. Now, here we had a chance to see Queen of the World Cup Series Katinka Hosszu go head-to-head with London superstar Yi Shi-wen. Hosszu takes the title 207.9, a few tenths off of what Yi Shi-wen went in London, who finished fourth with a shocking 210. Jeff, this event was completely strange, not at all what I thought was going to happen. What are your thoughts on mostly Yi Shi-wen's fourth place 210?
Well, speculation's going to start. I mean, everybody's going to start talking about what happened to Yi Shi-wen. I mean, how do you go from 207 to 210? And, everybody has an off year. It was probably very hard for her to take the pressure off of her after the Olympics and just go to the World Championships and swim well. And, it's just an off year. Maybe next year, I think they point towards the Asian Games. We'll see what she can do there. But, I was surprised. I thought, like Sun Yang, even on a bad day, that Yi Shi-wen would have no trouble winning. But Katinka Hosszu, I mean, I don't think Yi Shi-wen was going to have a 207 in her today, and I think she thought maybe a 208 would be good. And I think maybe what happened is she saw how far Katinka was out in front and just kind of played with her nerves, and she overswam her race, didn't swim her own race, and maybe that affected her. Yi Shi-wen still has a 400 IM to go, so that's later in the meet, last day of the meet, so maybe she'll be able to bounce back. But I just got to say, Katinka Hosszu is just having the meet of her life. I will admit that I had some concerns about how Katinka was going to swim because she's been racing all season long from last fall to now, and I was worried if she was going to have the training to back up a good meet. But it says a lot. I think having a season or 9 months full of racing, I think she's been ready for this meet.
Yeah, I think a couple things going on, Jeff. One, Katinka's proving that she's one of a kind on the ladies' side. The second of all, it is possible that Yi Shi-wen's having a bit of an off year. We saw what happened to Allison Schmidt, so it's not completely bizarre that these Olympians aren't up to par. But because of Yi Shi-wen's performance, it's going to be interesting to see how the next couple months shake out. Like you mentioned, the Asian Games, and especially that 400 IM, because that's where she had her notorious performance. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and see how the rest of the meet goes. Well,
yeah, absolutely.
That's going to conclude day 2 of the FINA World Championships. Day 3 is going to include finals heats for the men's 200 free, 100 back, semifinals for the 50 breaststroke and 200 fly. On the ladies' side, we have finals heats for the 100 back, 1500 free, and the 100 breaststroke, semifinals for the 200 freestyle. Jeff, what do you predict is going to be the big headline after day 3 finals tomorrow?
I'm sorry, say that again, Tiffany?
What do you predict is going to be the top headline for after day 3 finals tomorrow?
I think we need to be on world record watch of that women's 100 backstroke. I mean, Missy slipped on the start in the 100 back semifinals tonight, and she went 59.3. I think it's got to be, everybody's got to be wondering if she had a great start, if she wouldn't have been able to go 58.5 tonight. So, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with her tomorrow. She doesn't have that double that she had at the Olympics. She's going to be coming to this 100 back fresh. It will be coming before the 200 free semifinal, so she has nothing to worry about. Just lay it all out on the line in this 100 back final. And when Missy Franklin's fresh, look out.
Would a solid Missy Franklin 100 backstroke trump Malatides 100 breaststroke world record if she does it again in finals?
Well, Missy's also chasing a tech suit record, a polyurethane suit record. So, I think Malatides' world record is more amazing because a lot of people were saying Jessica Hardy's 104.4 was going to stand for at least a decade because at the time nobody was even within a second of that in a tech suit. So, it just says a lot about, how far Ruta has taken this sport. And, she's going to have a couple people going under 105. I think she's going to bring some people under that barrier. But, I think the 100 back record everybody thought was going to go down soon, but nobody thought that 100 breast record was going to go down anytime soon. So Ruta's swim is going to outweigh Missy's, but it's not going to, I don't think it'll dampen the magnitude of what Missy will do.
All right, well, a lot to look forward. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. Have fun, and we'll see you tomorrow after the day 3 finals. All right, well, make sure to go to our event landing page on swimmingworld.tv to find all the coverage of World Championships, including results, analysis, interviews, and much more. 7 more final sessions to go. I'm Tiffany Elias, and we'll see you tomorrow.